All right, welcome back. We're at Dominici Fitness Center, and today we're going to be going over some basic striking drills and proper positioning for pad holding. One of the most crucial things when you're holding for a partner is that you know your target zones when you're holding mitts. Whether it's a kicking pad, whether it's your hand mitts, or whether you're holding the Muay Thai pads, you've got to know how to properly hold them to set them up for those basic techniques. Today we're going to work on a little bit of those basics. I'm going to kick into some advanced stuff just a little bit to give you guys a little bit of sugar-coated fun. Afterward, we're going to be showing a little bit of our actual mitt work, so you can see some of my guys who've been holding pads with me for a little bit. You'll see how quick they can move. You'll watch their feet movement. And then after that, we're going to immediately kick into some sparring so you can kind of see why there's a practicality for this pad holding and why it's important to know how to hold, because you're not only helping people develop those multi-position techniques where they're moving outside, inside, throwing 4-hit combinations. They got to know that stuff. Otherwise, they're going to sit there and just fence all day with their kicks and punches, one technique at a time, which is not what I look for in a sparring match. You need to be pressure, pressure, pressure. I have the 4-technique rule where if you're not getting in and throwing at least 4, you're kind of wasting your time on the inside. A lot of people ask me what the 4-technique system is, okay? When it comes to striking, 4 techniques it's universal as far as getting something in on your opponent. In summary, anybody can stop 1 technique. Some people can stop 2. Every now and again you meet a skilled fighter, he manages to block 3. Nobody can block 4. And this is tried and true. You can try it on your friend. Just go up to him and hit him with the flurry and just see how he reacts to that 4-hit combination. If you're hitting here and you're blocking that face, and I got my hand up here, when I throw that kick low, a lot of times the mind doesn't have enough time to react. So that's the 4-hit method, and I employ this even when I'm using drills. I hate seeing guys 1, 2, 3, 4, just kind of bleeding through. You need that 4-hit combination followed up with, a power technique. That's usually what I like to put down. But you're going to get to see that in motion, and keep watching. All right, so a lot of you guys ask, what do you mean holding pads properly? I hold my hands out here, right, and he punches, okay? Yeah, I'm giving him those punches, right? Nice and easy. No, that's not the case. Because if I'm not centering up with my opponent and kind of letting him bleed down that line, he's punching way out here and way out here. He's creating unnecessary angles with his body, and his footwork and everything gets messed up in the process. So when I'm going to hold, when I set him, say I want to throw a 1-2, just 2-hit combination, right? I'm going to be right there. Where are my hands? They're going to be dead center in front of me. This is why you got to be adamant when you're holding for a straight, bam, right there. He's going right down the line. He's not out here where he's punching way over here. Am I out here? The problem is it's breaking a fear, because a lot of people don't want to be in front of any kind of advance, right? So when you're holding, keep in mind, just like you're my partner right here and I'm holding for you. I'm right here down the line. You see that? So when you're throwing that 1, 2, 3, have I matched off your center? No. And that's why I'm giving you good angles right here. So pay attention to that. You'll see guys, like I said, out here way out of frame, right? So this is where they're playing their kicking and punching game. You know what I mean? It doesn't work. We're going to put together just a basic 3-hit combination. 1, 2, and then the back. Right there, when I turn my hand over, he needs to step in just a little bit more, because now we're closing the distance. So he's right here, boom. The only time I will ever have you match a side on a technique is when that hand turns over. If I'm here, boom, and I want you stepping in, that's the only time this hand is ever going to get crossed left to right. So what I mean by that is, normally it's going to be left, right, right? See? He's always matching my hand. His left's punching, my right's punching, right? The only time that he'll ever use a hand or a foot, say I'm setting him up for a kick, it's going to be right here, outside leg, bam. That's the only time we're going to match sides, is when this glove goes from here to here. You got that? So it's going to help you out a lot. Say we're doing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're doing all those. You notice how we're keeping the same hand moving, okay? But if I'm throwing a 1, 2, 3, 4, now he's kicking with the other side of his body, see? As my left is matching, his right's moving, right? So keep that in mind when you're holding pads, because if you don't, and you're not creating that proper angle, and you're not isolating the area in which you're attacking, you're going to run into trouble, especially when you start holding for other people and helping them develop bad techniques. All right, just like with the hand mitts, just the standard boxing mitts, for these you have to create the proper angle When you are holding for a person, like I always say, you're going to be straight. If I'm throwing a left punch, or if he's throwing a left punch, I'm throwing that hand up. If he's throwing a right punch, he's throwing that up. If he's matching that outside kick, same way. That hand's turning over and he's lighting up the body. When he's throwing an exit kick, I'm right there. Because I want him to get used to being as close to the action as possible. So for that, for example, we'll go ahead and pop that through. We're going to give it here. He's going to slip it a little bit, bam, outside round, and he's going to come in tight. And I want to almost have to cock my head back a little bit because I want to create these proper angles when I'm working mitts with the guys. If I'm out here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm afraid of the pads, what's going to happen is I'm jacking you up, right? I'm not setting him up good angles. If he's practicing these and he's working these combinations down that center line, he's going to find it every time. So when he's throwing it, keep in mind, watch where I'm staying center with him. 1, 2, boom, boom. Throwing that slip, bam, bam. Got it? Well, when you're dealing with any kind of head motion with the Muay Thai mitts, a lot of times guys like to swoop over and just bring it straight in. Those two little moves right there help out a lot, but what I like to preach about is utilizing the boxing mitts for any kind of head movement or doing some noodle drills, which we'll cover in a later episode. But for here, one of the good basic techniques to work, like I said, you're throwing that 1, 2, bam, bam, slip, outside round, he's gonna come, bam, bam. Throw that straight. So I always preach about being ambidextrous with your stances, and that plays a crucial role in your mitts as well. If you can't square up off both sides when you're sparring, you're gonna have a lot of trouble if you're getting your leg lit up in a fight and you don't know how to fight off the other one. So always keep that in mind when you're working your mitts with your partner. Always keep them switching their feet. Always work off both stances. It's gonna suck at first, but it's gonna benefit them in the end.
All right. There you go. Just play. You're not fighting. Remember that. I want to see good technique because that's going to be phased out. As you can see, just trying to get that movement going. Watch your control. These guys, this is probably their second sparring right here. So right now they're just trying to figure each other out, figuring out reach, figuring out how the legs work. It's like coming out of the womb. You got to know how to move. And then you start to crawl. This is crawling right here. Cover your head. Remember to cover your head with your hands. When you see his hip move, you cover your head. This has got a little bit more experience, so that worked with him a lot. There you go. Good stuff. See, right now they're just trying to figure out their reach. Everything's like baby theater, Comes out boom, and it's just jalopy trying to walk.
Nice.
All right. Going back just a little bit. Let me see some of those flashy kicks. Right now, see, what I'm trying to get everybody in the habit of is the 4-hit combination, That 4-hit principle, you don't see it too often, you know what I'm saying?
Cover your jabs, guys, jab.
See, right now we're just playing fisticuffs. We're doing single hand punches, kind of just touching gloves, right? This is that level you usually start at, where it's kind of just trying to gauge your opponent and make sure that, you're not getting punched in the face. The idea, though, is to not worry about getting punched in the face and instead be more worried about the reaction. So if he's going to punch me in the face, okay, this is what happened. I know that right arm tagged me right in the chin, but at the same time, my overhand right is going right down his button as well. Am I long enough to reach it? And what am I going to follow up with? And after that, what am I going to follow up with? And after that, what am I going to follow up with? And after that, what am I having for dinner? And after that, what's Mike doing? Things like that. You gotta think 4 steps ahead usually, and that's pretty much the principle of sparring. This is the beginning, so a lot of these guys are gonna try and feel each other out. They're gonna move around, see how heavy they are in their feet. Nobody's on the balls of their feet.
There you go.
That's what you expect from these. Power's there because they've hit the bag before. All right, stop.
Got him!
Touch gloves, hands up, remember, good technique. Stay on the balls of your feet, and keep going.
Alright, you guys are good.
Alright, here we have a little bit more advanced. Both of these guys have 6 months plus experience, so they're starting to feel around. You see the foot movement, and they're trying to kind of figure out like where they are in this world, as far as sparring goes. A couple of them have developed some stances that I'm not too fond of, but it works for them given their reach. Depending on how big you are, that's what you usually play with. You know, you see Casey likes to be really, Casey's the one on the left right here. He likes to kind of play around on the inside, and which is rare for a tall fighter with longer limbs, because they usually like to keep that reach. But making him as aggressive as he is, that's going to help him out in the future. I mean, especially if he starts to work his elbows and his knees and his Muay Thai really comes together, it's going to be dangerous. So, yeah, you'll see they're working their head movement. A lot of them will even set up just so they can practice it. Because, you know, going at this pace right now, this is where you kind of find out who you are and how you spar. So, see, he's getting boxed in, turtled in right there. He's got to watch out for that. He's got to be reactive and round step on the outside. You don't want to get in that box because you're going to get stuck and catch a kick to the head or or something. So, yeah, but this place is pretty good right here for any kind of like people at that advanced level. You don't really need to beat the hell out of each other because nothing ever really gets done. Right now, what these guys should be doing is working their 4-hit combinations instead of the 1-hit. So if they're putting together their combinations, that's going to help them out later on in sparring. But a lot of times, even at this level, you still see the one and done, one inside, one outside. But every now and again, these guys will click in their head and they're like, all right, I got to put together a 4-hit combination. All right, I got to put together a 4-hit combination. There you go. And if you'll notice, on that third, down, it's inside. So anytime you're throwing multiple hits, the mind doesn't have enough time to register to get out of the way of every single technique. Nothing short of being a master, like in an anime show or something, is going to allow you that kind of speed. I've never ran into it, no matter who I'm at, whether I'm sparring with black belts or I'm sparring with green, it doesn't really matter. One of them is going to get in there, so keep that in mind. 4-hit combination, Dom. Inside with it. There you go. 4-hit combinations. Alright, stop.
Good shit, guys.